It's time to sit back, relax, and listen to Change Your Attitude, Change Your Life. Change Your Attitude, Change Your Life will inspire, motivate, and empower you. Live your best life now. Listen, learn, think, and decide. Change your attitude, change your life. And now, here's your host, Joan Herman.
Welcome to Change Your Attitude, Change Your Life. I'm Joan Herman. Thanks for tuning in. Change Your Attitude, Change Your Life brings you interviews with some of the most inspirational and influential people in the world. It's our goal to educate and empower you so you can live your best life now. Thank you for taking time for yourself, and thank you for letting us be a part of your life. We have another great show for you today. More and more people are tired of the fast-paced, frenzied information age and are interested in higher quality lives in which they have more time for themselves and their relationships and more energy to invest in their emotional, physical, and spiritual well-being. According to today's guest, Cheryl Richardson, you can step back, reevaluate your priorities, and make a conscious decision about the future you'd like to create. Cheryl is a New York Times bestselling author, coach, and radio host whose work has been featured in the media, including the New York Times, Good Housekeeping, and O Magazine. She's hosted 2 public television specials, Stand Up for Your Life and Create an Abundant Life. Welcome, Cheryl. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you for having me, Joan. I'm glad to be here.
Cheryl, I recently came across a quote that really represents the way I've lived my life, and I'd like to share it with you because I think it's a great example of what we're about to discuss. It was from Marjorie Pay Hinckley, and this is what she said. "The trick is to enjoy life. Don't wish away your days waiting for better ones ahead." As I look back over my life, I can't recall a time that I actually enjoyed the moment. You know, when my kids were little, I was always waiting for the day to end to put them to bed. And when I was caring for an ill parent, I was exhausted and frustrated. And when I had a job that I didn't enjoy, I waited for that better job. And I lived the majority of my life waiting for something better or different. And I think so many of us do this. So that's why I'm really glad that you're here today, because you're going to tell us how to stop doing that.
Well, I think you're absolutely right. It's very funny. This morning I woke up myself and I thought, I have a very dear friend of mine coming to visit next Monday, and we're spending 10 days together on vacation. She's staying at her home. And I woke up this morning thinking, I can't wait for Eileen to get here. I'm just so excited to spend time with her. It's been a long time. And I went, Cheryl, come back to the present moment. You know, don't wish your life away, because right now in this moment is, first of all, this moment is the most important moment. It's the most creative moment. It's the moment to be happy. And if you remember that and you just gently pull yourself back to the present moment, then you end up really feeling good about your life. And, you know, ultimately that's the goal. The goal is to just feel good, because when we feel good, good things come to us. Good things occur in our lives. So the way we do that, the primary way we do that is by managing our mind, doing exactly what you did, which is, first of all, becoming self-aware, noticing, wow, I wish a lot of my life away, or I look forward a lot instead of being present in this moment, or for some people, I look back a lot instead of being present in this moment. So many people spend their lives waiting for that right job, then they'll feel good, or waiting for the perfect relationship, then they'll feel good, waiting to have enough money, then they'll feel good. If we could just make the focus feeling good, the rest of it would take care of itself. And it sounds so simple, and it's so true and important, and that is, what thought could you think right now, what thought could I think right now that would make me feel good? Then we start to create a state of feeling good on a consistent basis, and when you do that, life gets better. When you practice managing your mind, you actually do become more present to your life, and everything that happens in any given moment leaves you feeling good.
Well, you know, and we all want to live that exceptional life, and we all want to experience joy. But what is it that you think really happens? What keeps us from really finding our joy?
Well, I think there's a lot of things, but if we sort of distill it down to the most basic element, it's an inability to love ourselves, an inability to be present to our lives, like we were just talking about. And it really does all begin with the reality that every word you speak and every thought you think is an affirmation for your future. And so the minute you say, I'm looking forward to putting the kids to bed, you're pulling yourself out of the present moment, and you're sort of affirming that the present moment isn't okay. So it really is about managing our minds. But, here's the other thing we have to look at, Joan. Your example was a really good one. You've spent your whole life. When can I, you're with your children, and instead of being present with the children, you're focused on when you're going to put them to bed, or like you said, you're in a job that you're not happy with and you're focused on when you're going to find a good job. Those just provide us with opportunities to look at what are we tolerating in our lives? Where are we doing things we really don't want to be doing? Where are we doing things that we need help with that we're not asking for and receiving help with? Like, what needs to get handled in our lives? What do we have in our lives that we really don't want to have, and what do we not have that we really need? So if you find yourself always looking forward to the whatever it is next, it's just an indication that you have to look at the present state of your life and ask yourself, what needs to change in order to make it better? And then the single thing that changes the quality of our life is a commitment to do something different. You make a decision to do something different. I'm going to make a decision to ask my spouse for help so I'm not so overwhelmed with the kids. I'm going to make a decision to get help to get a resume done so that I can start looking for another job. Or I'm going to make a decision to enjoy the job I have by looking for 10 or 15 things that I actually have to be grateful for in this job. When we make a decision and we do something different, that's when life starts to change.
So, Cheryl, someone makes that decision, and I know a lot of people like this. They know they have to make changes. They even know what they need to do, but they just can't do it. They're afraid, or they get so caught up in this mode of being a victim. How can someone overcome their fears? And then once they overcome their fears, how do they get rid of that martyrdom attitude that life happens to me and take control and make things happen?
I think it's very easy to confuse having to make tough choices with feeling like you have no choice at all. So, for example, let's say that you're working at a job that you really can't stand, but you know you need the money because you're raising kids. It's very easy to say, yeah, it would be nice to have a job that I love, but I can't afford to leave. I need to stay here at this crappy job because I've got kids to feed. Well, that's confusing tough choices with having no choice at all. You still have a choice. You can still get a resume together. You still can go out and look for a new job while you're currently working. Is it difficult? Yeah. You know what? But many a great life has been built by the actions of people who were in difficult circumstances but did something anyway. I think one of the things we can do is get support. If in the simple act of choosing one friend or colleague or coworker and making a decision to support each other and making positive changes by lovingly holding each other's feet to the fire, it can have a tremendous impact on someone's lives. We really are more motivated to make change when we have people with us who are supporting us and who are also making changes themselves. And once you start doing that, then you just naturally let go of a martyred position or a victim role. I mean, feeling like a victim is a normal, natural step on the path of growth for a lot of people. But the trick is to get yourself out of that position because no one is a victim. You can feel like a victim, but supporting someone in being in that place isn't serving them at all. Really showing them a way out is what matters.
You know, for the listeners that follow the show, they know that my life has been one of tremendous change. This was a creation that was a result of major loss in my life. I had this dream to create this, and with all the people that supported me, Cheryl, the one person in my life that told me that others were laughing at me and I was making a fool of myself, that was the one voice that resonated with me because that was my subconscious belief about myself. Mm-hmm. So what you're saying, it's true. Once I got past that and I changed the way I believed, I didn't give that voice so much credence, and I've been able to move forward ever since.
Well, yeah, we want to look at where that voice got implanted in your brain. And, what happens for all of us is we internalize the critical voices of the authority figures of our childhood. And you're right. That's why it's so critically important that we begin to build up strong, powerful voices of allies within us by becoming a strong ally to ourselves so that when we do that, we don't give as much credence to those inner critical voices. They're there. They are for every human being, but we give them less and less weight because they get quieted by the powerful voice that says, you know what, Joan, you are capable of doing anything you put your mind to. Or, you know what, Joan, this is a horrible amount of loss in your life, and we're going to choose to learn from it, to grow from it, to become stronger, and to also be of service to others with what we learn instead of, caving, which a lot of people would do because, let's face it, life can be really hard sometimes.
Cheryl, how can we attract the things that we want into our life?
Well, we magnetize a good life first and foremost by how we think. So let me give you some practical examples of what you can do. Go out and buy yourself a small makeup mirror, the kind of mirror that's on a stand. Put that mirror on your desk. And during the day when you're working, every now and then look in that mirror and say something nice to yourself. I love you, honey. I think you're fantastic. That was a really great job you did in that meeting. Get in the habit of seeing yourself in a mirror and saying loving things to yourself. Just a way to begin to build a relationship with the single person that you will spend the most time with for the rest of your life. You will be with you longer than anyone else on the planet. Might as well make it a good relationship. Second thing you can do is go out and buy yourself a set of dry eraser markers, all different colors. Get in the habit of writing messages to yourself on your mirror. You can write messages to yourself. It wipes off very easily with a dry paper towel. Positive, present-day statements. I love you. You're amazing. I love your beautiful shape. It's a good one for women. Only good lies before me. Like putting positive statements all around us will remind us to choose good thoughts. Most people need visual reminders. That's something else that you can do to begin to shift the way you think. When you do that, you do start to magnetize good experiences, good feelings, loving feelings towards oneself. So those are just some of the things you can do. Become aware. What do you say to yourself when you engage in the daily habits that we all engage in? What do you say to yourself when you're taking a shower? What do you say to yourself when you're putting on makeup or shaving? What do you say to yourself when you go to the closet to find clothes for the day or when you're getting dressed? What do you say to yourself when you're driving to work or on public transportation? As we become aware of the thoughts, the habitual thoughts we think that are associated with the daily habits that we take, we start to shift the way we use our mind. And when you begin to shift the way you use your mind, you will begin to shift what you draw into your life. It's really that simple. These are simple examples, but it's really not about the example. It's about the practice of these simple steps that will make all the difference in the world.
And it's very powerful because as you were saying some of those things like I love you or you look very pretty today, I'm thinking that 9 out of 10 people that I know say things like, oh, I hate my hips. Oh, my eyes are just, I wish they were green, or I'm so dumb, or I don't have the ability. And that's the way we talk to the person, as you said, that we spend our entire life with. That's how we treat ourselves. And what you're saying is so wonderfully powerful that when you turn it around, you can draw in all the positives into your life. And I'm living proof of it. So it works, and anyone can do it. If I can do it, anyone can do it.
That's right.
Cheryl, you talk about finding our power, and most of us equate power with confidence or courage, but you say it's more than that. What is our power?
Well, our power really is our spiritual strength. It's our connection to the divine, however you define that. It's recognizing that we are a soul living in a body, and that the energy of our soul lives on forever. That we exist beyond the body, we exist beyond the physical elements that we see in our lives. So our true power comes from our connection to this divine creative power. And the more we develop that connection in our lives, the more empowered we feel. The more we feel like we are in charge. We are actually creating every experience that we have through our connection with this divine power and our use of our thinking, our words, and our actions.
Cheryl, before we run out of time, what would you like our listeners to walk away with from this interview?
Buy a mirror and talk lovingly to yourself. That's what I want you to walk away with. It will change your life.
Very simple.
Yep, very simple.
Cheryl, thank you so much for spending time with us today. Your work has had a major impact on my life and the life of so many people that have written in to tell me that. So thank you for all the wisdom that you've shared with us and all the lives that you've had such an impact on.
Thank you very much, Joan. I really appreciate you having me, and I wish you all the very best.
We'll be right back. Hi, this is Joan Herman, host of Change Your Attitude, Change Your Life. Did you know that Change Your Attitude, Change Your Life has a free monthly digital magazine that can be read online or emailed to your inbox? Every month, nationally recognized leaders in their field provide information to educate, inspire, and motivate you. We believe in a holistic approach to life, incorporating mind, body, and spirit. Check out a copy of Change Your Attitude, Change Your Life 24/7. Visit cyacyl.com and be sure to tell your friends. Thank you for joining us. I hope you found the show informative. At Change Your Attitude, Change Your Life, we believe that knowledge is power. Take what you've learned, apply it, and live your best life now. Remember that the information provided are the opinions of our guests and should never replace the advice of a professional who knows your personal situation. If you'd like more information, visit our website, cyacyl.com. While on the site, listen to past shows on demand, read our digital magazine, take part in the book club, check out our team, and be sure to follow the show on social media. Until next time, this is Joan Herman. Thanks for tuning in.